The 1965 sci-fi novel Dune is a major inspiration for nearly every popular sci-fi show, anime, manga, and more recently, the incredibly well-received Denis Villeneuve's film of the same name, featuring Timothée Chalamet, Zendaya, and a whole host of other celebrities. Many have tried to capture the essence of Frank Herbert's original work, but this is a constant challenge. It would be fair to say that Villeneuve did a remarkable job of it. While the film has taken the world, and more importantly, sci-fi enthusiasts by storm, the original work continues to be a source of inspiration for many space anime. So if you're still brooding in your bed wondering what's next after Dune Part 2, here's a list of 7 anime that are sure to quench your intergalactic thirst for spice in more ways than one. Number 7. Crest of the Stars, 1999. Crest of the Stars keeps you glued to the screen. It's interspersed with power-hungry humans and a highly intelligent group of space beings who, interestingly, have more in common with the said humans than each other, except for their longevity. Crest of the Stars is a story about politics and 2 youngsters who try to juggle their responsibilities and their loyalties to their respective roots. Jinto and Raphael's story takes place at a futuristic stage of humankind's development. Jinto himself is from a remote planet named Marte and is the son of the Prime Minister. Raphael, for her part, belongs to a species called the Ob, characterized by their blue hair and dwarf-like ears. She is also the granddaughter of the Ob Empress. Their average lifespan is about 200 years, and coupled with their intelligence, the Ob possess advanced skills, knowledge, and technology that they use to overpower other planets and expand their reach. Although Jinto's father decided to surrender to avoid war, the Ob found themselves in the middle of an uprising from the united mankind, and by extension, Raphael and Jinto were smack in the middle of it. The poor boy was torn between standing with humans and Obs. A major reason for the confusion was his relationship with Raphael. Even though she was royalty, Raphael had a real hunger to prove that she wasn't just another spoiled, privileged brat who had everything handed down to her. But what made this 90s space opera stand out was its focus on Ob and viewing the spatial world, traditions, and beliefs from their eyes. It would be time well spent, we assure you, to take a road less traveled. Number 6. Mars Daybreak, 2004. A weak economy equals a higher crime rate. An unfortunate reality of life? Not the right subject matter for an anime, you say? What if it included pirates and Mars? We know we got half of you with the pirates and the other half with Mars, don't lie. Mars Daybreak showcases humans living on the uninhabitable red planet of, well, Mars, but this is the space anime genre we're looking into, so life on Mars is not the weirdest thing out there. Anyway, this 2004 anime features the handsome Graham River aboard the city ship Adrena. Since the planet is completely covered by a large body of water, the majority of the income is generated through the waterways, and people lived on floating islands called city ships. Fortunately, a pan-galactic war put an end to any and every means of livelihood, and the people soon turned to any source to keep themselves alive. Meanwhile, the situation proved just right for the submerged pirates to come to the surface. And we all know what happens when pirates run rampant on land, or in this case, the surface of Mars. Hilariously enough, River finds himself in the middle of the most feared pirate vessel, the ship of Aurora. Just a case of being in the wrong place at the wrong time, but it just so happens that he is inevitably drawn to the whole shebang. But the heart wants what it wants, doesn't it? As he grows closer to the notorious pirate gang, River finds himself torn between his conviction, the taste for adventure, loyalty, and friendship, maybe even love. It's not your typical space anime, so anybody looking for a little change from the traditional will find their calling with River. Maybe he can convince you to join the pirates as well. Number 5. Nausicaa of the Valley of the Wind, 1984. The first of its kind post-apocalyptic fantasy, Nausicaa of the Valley of the Wind touches upon a lot of subjects, most prominently war, nature, and how human greed can result in Mother Nature taking things into her own hands. But what we see is an Earth 1,000 years from the 7 Days of Fire. Yeah, you guessed it, the event that wiped out almost the entirety of mankind. The result was a completely new ecological and entomological system. Think Journey to the Mysterious Island kind of flora and fauna. Although our protagonist and her interactions with giant insects might make you want to identify with Dune, albeit slight. Very, very slight. After all, Dune shows us gigantic sandworms with just one goal: kill, be killed. But the fantasy aspects of it can be quite striking. Tired of constantly being embroiled in a battle with the ecosystem, Nausicaa, the princess of the Valley of the Wind, tries to bring peace, or at least a balance, a scenario where humans and nature can coexist without destroying each other. Her acute observational skills, keen intelligence, and gift for communicating with insects, particularly the humongous Omu, all pave the way for the success of a future she always envisioned. Not quite a space anime as much as a sci-fi fantasy, Nausicaa of the Valley of the Wind has enough matter to satisfy your sci-fi craving. Not to mention, it'll leave you with some pertinent questions, and it's about time we asked ourselves some more of those, wouldn't you say? Number 4. Knights of Sidonia, 2014 through 2015, and 2021. This one, as you can probably tell from the years we mentioned, is a little bit more modern, and as such, it involves some of the weirdest characters. While the whole caboodle does take place in a space setting, seeing that the Earth and its inhabitants were attacked by an alien life form called the Guana, who, by the way, are shapeshifters, the presence of mecha also adds to the uniqueness of this anime. The protagonist is Nagade Tanakaze, a naturally gifted mecha pilot and a clone of an ancient hero. After being driven out by the Guana, surviving humans manage to build massive spacecraft and escape. One such ship is Sidonia, the main location of the anime. The inhabitants aboard this ship are not your run-of-the-mill humans either. Advanced technology has turned them into highly self-sufficient beings in that they are asexual and can use photosynthesis to take care of their nutritional needs. And when we say photosynthesis, it actually requires them lying out in the sun naked, so prepare to find yourself, or should we say Tanakaze, in the most ridiculous of situations with galactically beautiful and nude women. With the kind of possibilities such a scenario provides, you can imagine the liberty the creators have taken with the characters. But we can assure you that not even the wildest imaginations out there can predict the twists and turns that adorn this space mecha action thriller. Yes, it has mechs in it too. Did we say that before? Our bad. Or not? Our only question is, what are you waiting for? Watch this anime. Number 3. Mcross Frontier, 2008. We've reached the top 3 now, so it's time to pay attention, but this particular anime needs no special introduction, does it? The Mcross franchise is known far and wide for its culmination of science fiction and mecha anime. The 3rd episode of the anime television series Mcross Frontier depicts humans and the alien race finding themselves coming together to start a new life. Primarily a human space colony, the Mcross Frontier focuses on 3 main characters. Despite the obvious disparity, the 2 species are forced to work together as another alien form threatens to destroy them. While it naturally involves themes like politics, space drama, and action, what good mecha series goes without action, it also brings forth the dilemma the 2 different races find as they try to coexist with each other. When it comes to anime, you can never go wrong with Mcross. That's all the guarantee you need, trust us. And if you find you can't get over the Mcross universe, it has a lot more to offer, including 6 OVAs. Number 2. Legend of the Galactic Heroes, 1988 and 2017. Another classic, The Legends of the Galactic Heroes is our second choice on the watch list for you. Sci-fi and space anime enthusiasts couldn't be more thankful to Yoshiki Tanaka for his brilliant mind that came up with Reinhard von Lohengramm and Yang Wen Li. The 2 exceptional protagonists continue their never-ending interstellar war, with both of them outplaying each other every time they meet. In 1988, anime adaptations began and continued until 1997. In between, a main anime and a series of short stories, including primary OVAs, and then another 2 OVA series were also released. It went cold after that until 2018, but The Legends of the Galactic Heroes returned with the Dai Mui These series. The 80s and 90s focused solely on Reinhard and Yang, but the recent ones saw them joining forces to bring peace to what is an endless universe. We are absolutely on the bandwagon for this one, and we highly encourage you to join us. Number 1. The 5-Star Stories, 1989. Finally, we have our number 1 entry on the list, The 5-Star Stories. One of the best mecha space animes of the 80s, The 5-Star Stories was much more advanced considering the time it was released. The futuristic developments have gone to the extent that these societies have ultra-modern, highly sophisticated, and heavily armed robots called mortarheads to fight their battles. But owing to the very nature of these mechas' intelligence and skills, no single human is capable of operating. This is why bioengineered co-pilots called Fatimas are designed to aid them. Created in the form of petite women, these whose engineered computers also possess feelings. Add to this the fact that Lachesis and Clotho, two Fatimas created by Duke Belange, possess a dangerous and yet prized attribute, free will. While the central plot surrounds these ladies, the political conspiracies, action, and mecha make for a perfect background. Honestly, this anime might leave you pulling your hair out, but the artwork of Mamoru Nagano never disappoints. Marvelous verdict! The space genre is as complex as it is intriguing, and it continues to be a field that promises endless possibility. Space anime is just one aspect of it, and yet it still leaves you feeling like you've only dipped your toe into the pool. There's still a lot left to get you drenched. While every anime that we listed here has similarities to Dune, they still possess an individuality that's almost as unique as a finger. We hope that you find something that will tickle your sci-fi bone among the above-mentioned suggestions. While some of you might already be familiar with these anime, there are others among you who have maybe heard about them but were hesitant to take the leap. If that describes you, we highly encourage you to jump on in because these are fantastic anime that are well worth your time. And for those of you who have already watched, why not take a trip down memory lane? That's all we got for you this time, but stay tuned to our channel as we curate another list of tasty morsels for all you anime fans. Are there any topics, themes, or genres you'd like us to focus on next? Drop your suggestions in the comment section down below.